Have you felt that something has changed, but you still don't know what? The angels know. They whisper today, with a sweetness that surpasses logic, you were sent here. Not chosen by chance. Not appearing by coincidence. But indeed guided, with your feet still wounded from past loves, to cross paths with a soul that deep down was crying out for healing even without knowing it. There's a reason you entered his life as you did. So whole. So different. So radiant. You were the silent answer to a prayer he never had the courage to voice, the angels say. When you showed up, something inside him stirred. It wasn't fear. It was memory. Soul memory. As if your face reminded him of something his eyes had never seen. As if the way you spoke soothed a longing he didn't even know he had. You awakened a dormant memory. And with it, a mission. Because some connections don't come to entertain the ego. They come to provoke the spirit. He doesn't understand. He can't put it into words. Sometimes he avoids you. Other times, he reaches for you as if he were drowning. But what he feels for you didn't emerge from his body. It was born from the heavens. And that's what makes it so frightening. The angels reveal that your presence has brought to the surface layers of him that were buried. Old dreams. Hidden guilt. Fears he had silenced for years. You are like a mirror that doesn't forgive lies. But you are also like a bridge, built between his heart and the purpose he forgot to fulfill. He was drawn to your light, yes. But also to the mission embedded within it. You came to awaken. To remember. To touch the invisible. And perhaps without knowing it, you're wondering if this love is mutual, if it's worth the surrender, if it wouldn't be easier to walk away. But the angels say, this is not a story to be abandoned. It is meant to be traversed. Because before it's a romance, this is called. Before being passion, it's purpose. Before being a meeting, it's mission. And as confusing as it may seem now, there is a spiritual plan being drawn up with both your names. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. Have you ever felt that he looks at you, but doesn't really see you? The angels say he feels. He has always felt. But feeling isn't enough when surrounded by walls. This person, to whom you've offered your purest light, hasn't rejected you. He has rejected himself, what he sees reflected in the mirror you've become without even trying. You showed up and, without promising anything, awakened everything. And that scares someone who has spent a lifetime learning to hide. The angels reveal that this man carries scars that don't show up in pictures. They are old wounds, some inherited, others built with words that have made him doubt himself, love, and life. It's not about you. It never was. He sees you so whole, so devoted, so possible, that the impossible within him screams. That's why he pulls back. That's why he confuses you. That's why he runs away. Because you didn't hurt him. You saw him. And being truly seen is more threatening than being ignored. The angels say, what blocks this love isn't lack of love. It's fear. It's trauma. It's shame. He learned to love with caution. To receive affection while expecting punishment. To desire connection but prepare for abandonment. And now, feeling you so near, something inside him wants to give in. But doesn't know how. Maybe you think, if he feels all this, why doesn't he surrender? Because inside him lives a cruel judge, telling him he doesn't deserve it. That if he accepts this love, he'll ruin everything. This internal judgment is what holds him back. But the angels are working. They are breathing courage into the nights when he wonders if he has lost you for good. They are touching your memories, redefining the past that taught you to protect yourself even from what is good. The angels say that each time he remembers your gaze, a crack opens in those walls. And over time, those cracks can become doors. But for now, there is pain. And where there is pain, there is resistance. You are not the cause. You are the invitation. The outstretched hand in the dark. the prayer he didn't know how to make. And even if he still doesn't know how to cross over, know this: your presence is already healing. Healing sometimes begins in the presence of those who demand nothing, but reveal everything. There comes a moment on the journey when you need to ask yourself, and me, where do I fit into this story? The angels are watching you, dear soul. They saw when you gave too much. When you waited for a message that never came. When you dimmed your light, thinking that would help him see you better. But love does not reveal itself in the absence of self. The angels say, you did not come into this world to be half of anyone. You came to be whole, even if you walk alone for a time. The truth is, you were beginning to forget. Forget who you were. What makes you smile? The dreams you set aside to wait for someone who has yet to learn how to arrive. And that is not love. That is waiting that makes you sick. The angels want you to listen, with an open heart. You do not need to sacrifice yourself to be loved. True love does not require you to diminish yourself, but rather to blossom. Yes, he is confused. Yes, there is a deep connection. But no connection justifies abandoning yourself. You can care, you can love, you can even wait, but without losing yourself in the process. You came with a mission, and it begins within you. Today, the angels invite you to remember what makes you come alive. The coffee you love to sip slowly. The songs you sang without fear of looking silly. That dance your body misses. The peace found in being okay with yourself. They say, if you dim your light to keep someone close, you'll lose both, them and yourself. It's not about giving up on love. It's about not giving up on yourself. If he loves you, and the angels show that he does, even if he doesn't know how to express it, then it's time for you to love too. But you must love yourself first. Because the woman who chooses herself loses no one. She simply stops begging for scraps. And in that silent act of withdrawing with dignity, you ignite a new light. A light that does not plead. That does not rush. That does not fade away. And that light, dear soul, is what most attracts those who once drifted away. You arrived as if you wanted nothing. Yet you brought everything. And he felt it. Felt as if something inside him broke when he looked at you. As if he were being seen for the first time, not with the eyes, but with the soul. The angels say, you didn't do anything extraordinary. You just were yourself. And that was too much for him. Because you didn't bring demands. You brought truth. And truth reflects. You became the mirror he avoided looking into. And seeing himself reflected in you, he glimpsed what he had always tried to bury. His pains, his absences, his emotional baggage that no one ever wanted to unwrap. Your light, unwittingly, illuminated the dark room where he kept everything the world made him feel was wrong. He desired you, yes. But at the same time, he feared. Because with you, he couldn't keep pretending. Pretending to be strong while he was in pieces. Pretending he didn't feel when everything in him is repressed emotion. The angels whisper, you didn't hurt him. You just showed him where he still hurts. And that is rare. That is intense. That is spiritual. He pulled away because in front of you, masks don't work. Shortcuts don't help. The old emotional script he used with everyone breaks with you. And that, for someone who has spent a lifetime protecting themselves, feels dangerous. But you didn't come to heal him. You came to awaken. And there is healing in every awakening. Even though he still resists, there's something inside him that knows you were a turning point. Everything that came before you was just survival. With you, the chance to truly live was born. And that's not something you forget. The angels say that even in silence, he feels. He revisits the moments. He tries to understand how someone who barely arrived managed to shake things up so much, in the best possible way. You've seen him completely. And for that, even if he denies it, his soul has already recognized you. At first, he thought it was just attraction. Something fleeting. A chemistry that time would dissipate. But time didn't dissipate it. It only deepened. Now there's a sweet discomfort inhabiting his thoughts. An internal call he can no longer silence. The angels say, there's a new whisper inside him, and it's your name. This whisper doesn't come from the mind. It comes from the soul. And it's awakening something in him that has been dormant for years, the desire to truly feel. Yes, he still hesitates. But he can no longer deny that something has changed. He feels you even on the days he pretends he doesn't. He wakes up with you on his mind. He sleeps with you in his thoughts. And everything that seemed clear before is now clouded by a question that won't quiet down. What if it's her? This is the beginning of awakening. The angels show subtle scenes, him looking back at old messages, listening to the song you both used to enjoy, wondering why you're still there inside him, even when you're not close. It's not an illusion. It's a living memory. His soul has started to realize that it's no longer about choosing whether or not to choose you. It's about choosing himself, and you came as part of that. Because the truth is, you're calling him to something greater. Not just a relationship, but a reunion with himself. You are a mirror. You are solace. You are a divine call. And the angels say, he is beginning to remember what he felt before he hardened his heart. He starts to see that living on autopilot no longer satisfies him. That lukewarm relationships don't bring warmth. That the silence between you speaks more than many conversations he's had in his life. Something inside him is opening up. And it may be slow, but it's real. Awakening doesn't happen in a shout. It happens in whispers that persist. And you are that whisper. And even if he hasn't said it out loud yet, he hears it. You've noticed this movement. He comes close, surrenders for a moment, and then disappears as if nothing ever happened. And that hurts. But the angels want you to know, this cycle isn't about indecision. It's about excess. Excess of feeling. Excess of fear. Excess of everything he doesn't know how to handle. He goes and comes back not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much, the angels whisper. The distance isn't coldness. It's escape. It's a desperate attempt to control what's overflowing inside. Because with you, he doesn't know how to pretend. And that frightens him deeply. He learned to survive with lukewarm, predictable relationships, where he could control every step, every word, every act of giving. But with you, there's no control. Just truth. And the truth, even though beautiful, is something he never learned to live with without fear. The angels show that every time he disappears, there's an internal conflict. A part of him wants to stay, to dive in, to risk it. But the other, shaped by traumas, past rejections, broken promises, shouts, if you love, it will hurt. And so he leaves. But soon he misses you. Because the absence of you hurts more than the fear of loving you. And then he returns. And in this back and forth, you wonder, how long will this last? The angels say that the cycle doesn't break with force. It breaks with awareness. And he is waking up to this. Slowly, yes. But he is. He is starting to realize that escaping doesn't solve anything. That love doesn't disappear just because you try to ignore it. That you're not a phase. You are a mirror of the soul he cannot shatter. You are the constant reminder that there is something more. Something true. Something he always wanted but never thought he deserved. And for that reason, even when he leaves, he always comes back. He never asked you for help. But the angels show that when you arrived, his heart, weary, hidden, calloused, began to breathe differently. It's as if, for the first time in a long time, he felt relief, even without understanding why. You didn't try to heal him, but love did that anyway, the angels say. Because true love doesn't impose, doesn't force, doesn't fix. It simply is. And in being, it transforms. You didn't tell him what he needed to change. You just stayed. With presence. With patience. With a light that didn't judge the parts of him he himself rejected. And that healed. Every gesture of yours, even the simplest ones, was like a balm on old wounds. A type of care he never knew how to receive. And because of that, he didn't know how to give back. But he felt. And still feels. The angels show that he carries your memories like one keeps soul medicines. A touch. A smile. A silence full of warmth. All of this has been stored in his heart as an antidote against a world that has often hurt him. He may not have spoken. He may have even distanced himself. But something inside him changed. Because after you, the emptiness no longer served him. And even if he tries to convince himself it was just a phase, an intense connection, he knows. His body feels it. His soul recognizes it. You are healing. Not because you tried to be, but because you were love. And love heals. Not in the magical, immediate way fairy tales proclaim, but in the slow, silent, enduring way that angels understand. This love wasn't for distraction. It was for reconstruction. And it is happening. Even if you don't see it now, something inside him is blooming where there was once pain. And that flower has your name. Have you ever wondered why everything is happening this way? Why, even feeling so much, does he still hesitate? Why does the path between you two seem so uncertain? The angels tell you today, with tenderness and truth, nothing is out of control. Everything is happening in God's timing. There is a greater plan being woven behind the scenes of life. A plan that involves healing for both of you, preparing his soul, and expanding your own faith. Trust in the sacred timing, the angels say. He isn't ready yet, not for lack of love, but from an abundance of fear. And God, in his infinite wisdom, does not waste love on unprepared ground. He waits for the soul's soil to be fertile so that love can bloom. You are part of this plan. And so is he. Heart-shaking encounters are not accidents. They are spiritual pacts. They are agreements made even before life began. And even though it may seem slow now, something is being carefully shaped with divine guidance. What seems like a delay is refinement. What seems like distance is preparation. You think you are waiting for him, but in reality, you are being guided back to yourself. The angels say he is also being led. He has been receiving signs, dreams, and restless feelings that pull him inward. He is being brought to the brink of the truth he has always avoided but now embraces with a memory of your love. And it is in that invisible place, between what was and what is to come, that the Holy Spirit works. So do not rush. Do not force. Do not question so much. God knows what he is doing. And he is doing it now. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. Psalm 37 verse 5. You have not been forgotten. You have been chosen for something greater than you can imagine. Keep walking in faith. Because when he returns, and he will return, it will be with awakened eyes, courage in his heart, and the love he finally understands as truth. He desires you. He misses you. He relives every detail he experienced by your side. But when the moment to surrender arrives, he freezes. And you, on the other side, wonder, is it fear? Is it me? The angels respond, it's not you. It's the armor he no longer knows how to take off. This person who makes you sigh and fall silent carries within them a wounded child. A being who learned too early that showing feelings is dangerous. That loving too much is risking loss. That opening up is an invitation to pain. And now, even with you offering peace, he still does not know how to land. Because love is present. He has already recognized it. But shedding his defenses in front of himself is still a challenge. The angels reveal that he has tried. In small gestures. In glances that lingered too long. In messages written and deleted. In closeness that seemed casual but were silent screams of, I want to but I'm afraid. You saw this. You felt this. And yet you stayed. This made you strong. But it also made you vulnerable. Because waiting for someone who doesn't know how to open up can become a mirror of your own fears. And here lies the point of healing. The angels say, you weren't called to drag him to love. You were called to be truth beside him, even when he still hesitates. Presence heals more than insistence. And he is feeling this. Even without being able to put it into words, he realizes you are the first place where he can finally be whole, without being judged. But fear still speaks loudly. Not for lack of love, but for lack of practice. He was never taught to surrender, only to defend himself. And now, in the face of love, he is relearning how to be. Continue being space, not pressure. Continue being truth, not demand. Because when he finally allows himself to be vulnerable, it will be with you. You have done everything you could. You loved wholeheartedly. You waited with faith. You offered your light without strings attached. And now the angels say, it's time to accept. Accept that true love is not something to be demanded. It is something that blooms, and blooms when both are ready. Accepting that sometimes, loving also means letting go. Not in the sense of giving up, but in trusting. Accepting that you've done your part. And now it's God who guides the rest of the way. The weary heart seeks answers. But the soul already knows the truth. What is yours will return. And it will return whole. The angels are here, holding your invisible hands, saying that the love that belongs to you will not make you beg for attention. It will not confuse you. It will not run away when you show your true self. It will come with clarity, with presence, with peace. And if it's that man, and the angels say it could be, he will come transformed. But if it's not, someone will come who will recognize everything you are, without fear, without escaping, without delay. Accepting is not conforming. It's liberating yourself. It's telling the universe, I trust. I surrender. I allow the best to happen, even if I still don't know how. The angels whisper, you are love in the form of a woman. You were not born to be forgotten. Your time was not in vain. Every wait, every silent prayer, every held-back tear was a seed sown in the divine fields. And now, the heavens are preparing the harvest. It may not come at the pace you wanted, but it will come with the magnitude you deserve. And when it arrives, you will understand why you had to wait so long. Because true love is never late. It aligns. And when two hearts finally say yes at the same time, even the sky bends to watch.